We are 20 plus years deep into the show and we still don't know shit. We don't know where devil fruits come from. We don't know what the hell those things were in the Florian Triangle. We don't know why Wano is special. We don't know about Supreme Grade Swords. There's been no mention of Mihawk and Wano. We don't know the Gurusei. We don't know Imu-sama. We don't know any of these things. And none of this has to do with the One Piece itself. I don't even care about the One Piece at this point. We've started Wano and ended it, and we know as much as we did when we started. And on top of not knowing anything, we're getting new things that we also don't know about on top of the pile that we don't know about already. There's still silhouetted characters 20 plus years in! And isn't Blackbeard supposed to be the primary in-stage antagonist or someone who's built up? This man hasn't done anything the entire time skip! Oh, but he's about to do something. Isn't that everybody? And we still don't know how Blackbeard has 3 devil fruits, why he can do it and nobody else can. But then on top of that, Luffy's talking to the whole island using conquerors or voice of all things or whatever the fuck. What is that? Someone explain that. Stop adding more food. It's too much. I can't eat all this food, Oda. I question his methods and why he would continually make things harder on himself, adding more shit. Pretend you're at a Thanksgiving dinner, but the table goes down endlessly and you don't see the end of it. You're like, I can't eat all this shit. Stop. Why does things have to keep getting added? It's too much. When are we gonna get answers? In due time, you say. When? No more. I don't want to hear that no more. It's over 20 years now. Come on.
In most shonen, everything needs to be explained to the reader through talking. Even if it's something obvious, it has to be stated. One Piece is no exception to this. It has constant scenes of exposition where someone explains what is going on. The reader can do nothing besides trusting the one who speaks. This is how, for example, we found out fishmen are the superior race and the lords of creation, before Oda changed his mind and created the Lunarians. Now it's the Lunarians who are the superior race, and the fishmen are nothing more than discriminated people. Notice the dialogue here that tells you how, depending on your genes or who your parents are, you are immediately deemed superior or inferior from the day you are born. And he says that about the fishmen, the lords of creation, before Oda changed his mind and created the celestial dragons. Also, he's talking to Luffy, an average human, who later on is retconned to be the son of Dragon, the grandson of Garb, a half-celestial, half-Lunarian who was born as the Chosen One and was given a mythical god fruit. Whatever you initially knew about the fishmen was established in these chapters and was then retconned to be something else. It's not like the other type of retcons I mentioned in a previous video. Those retcons were adding stuff to characters and locations without contradicting something. These retcons make the one who is talking to be a liar, or in writing terms, an unreliable narrator. In a manga where talking is the main form of exposition, lying is a big issue. It changes completely everything you knew about someone or something, and makes you lose trust in the mangaka because he lied to you. Obviously, many can excuse it as if it's not the mangaka who lied, it's the character who lied. Maybe Arlong had an inferiority complex and was bragging about his race because he was coping with how mistreated fishmen actually are. Look at Usopp, he's the biggest liar there is. Such people can exist. It's not the mangaka's fault, it's the character's fault. That wouldn't be an issue if Oda wants you to focus on present events instead of future events, but that doesn't happen. Since he devalues the present and only wants you to anticipate the future, most fanboys are more concerned with making theories based on what they assume will happen next. And they base everything on what they are told by the characters, many of which are lying. So every theory that is based on a lie is automatically proven to be wrong. None of that would be an issue if the fandom was enjoying the manga as it plays out in the present, or if there was no unreliable narration. But exactly because both things happen, you are made not to care about the present and you are lied to, the result is feeling betrayed whenever it happens. Unless, of course, you're a blinded fanboy who will be yelling about what a genius Oda is for constantly changing One Piece forever every time he retcons or lies to you. Oh, everything we knew was a lie. Thousands of theories were proven to be wrong. This is peak fiction because Oda fooled us by lying for 25 years. 10 out of 10, best manga of all times.
Robin is saying, hey, I know Pluton is here. It said it in Alabasta. You didn't think to tell everyone else? But for Robin, it's like a need-to-know basis. Cool, but, would have been nice. But Robin, doesn't communicate. Straw Hats don't communicate. Alabasta said that Pluton was in Wano, so now we're in Wano. Robin not telling her crew anything. Like, if they pulled up to the raid and Kaido just had Pluton waiting on them, it's over. It's over. Common courtesy. That's one of the more difficult things with the Straw Hats is that they don't really relay information to each other. Because this was really important information. If it's saying that in Wano, there's Pluton. Frankie, you don't think Frankie be interested? Luffy? Means, it's just, I don't know.
Do you know what the cultists talk about the most in the recent chapter of One Piece? Whoa, Zoro has conqueror's haki. Whoa, we're about to find out what happened so many years ago with Loki. Do you know what they are not talking about? Why the shit is this information not known already? Luffy could have told Zoro that he has haki if they had simply talked to each other ever since he felt the haki. But they didn't because the characters never talk to each other. They just go from one island to another without ever having a simple chat. Because they have no idea who their Nakama are. They are best buddies, and yet they never exchange information. You will notice Gaban to the left scolding them for not knowing the very basics of what the hell they need in order to survive future fights by simply talking about it. And yet, even he never asked anything regarding what exactly happened with Loki for so many years. In fact, nobody asked what the hell happened. They just chained him and never asked him what happened until Oda had to retcon yet another thing in the plot. This is why the world building is completely artificial. Instead of the setting evolving organically through exchange of information and events playing out without the main characters having to know about them, absolutely nothing happens without them being present and someone who is not their Nakama telling them things they should know about all along if they were just talking to each other. Once again we see why Oda is a terrible writer and why the cultists who worship him only care about reveals, even if they happen in artificial ways.
Colin before Gaban was revealed as his father. My father was a powerful pirate. Colin now that it's revealed that Gaban is his father. I'm the son of Gaban. Yeah, look, I get what you're saying. And this is a very long-standing One Piece tradition of convenient dialogue. I think one of the worst offenders of this was Charlotte Lola on Thriller Bark when she gave Nami a piece of Big Mom's Vivia card, claiming that her mother was a big shot pirate in the New World, because it's not a natural way to communicate. What you do is you give Nami the paper and you tell her that it belongs to Charlotte Lin Lin, Emperor of the Sea. Or if you're Nami, what you do is you respond to Lola's statement with, really, what's your mother's name so that I know who I'm looking for with the magical paper? But with that said, that's just not the exciting way to do things. It's much more fun to leave the question mark hanging and then when Whole Cake Island comes around, get hit with the revelation that yes, Big Mom is the owner of the Vivia card, and that's who Lola was talking about all the way back then. Information for plot reasons needs to not be known, and so sometimes it's a bit frustrating because when you're looking at it, the characters often seem like they're deliberately miscommunicating. Something that real people would never do, however, I do think that Oda tends to handle it quite well. I'm addicted to you, I hope we're gonna pull through. Brook has this mysterious hidden history that has yet to be revealed to us. When he was introducing himself, Brook said that he was the leader of a battle convoy in a, quote, certain kingdom, and given how often, quote, certain kingdoms and, quote, certain men turn out to be vague allusions to ridiculously important plot points, I fully expect Brook's pre-pirate history on this certain island to become quite relevant in the future, perhaps even integral to Luffy becoming the Pirate King. Oda tends to handle it quite well. I'm addicted to you, you're the